On. Hey, what's up, everybody? Is your friendly neighborhood BJJ podcaster, Rafa Sparza, and we are coming to you live. And you may notice right now we are doing like a vertical version of the show. The reason why is we are basing this one specific to our friends who have been so patient on Instagram. We are now able to run the show in a very cool-looking way here with this format. So it's going to be catered a little bit to y'all. And I'm so sorry because I know some of you may be watching on, let's say, any of our other channels, and I know it usually looks a little bit different. So my apologies if the sizing doesn't quite work out right. But we're trying something new here today, and I hope that you guys are ready to do. But before we actually get to the actual comments here for what it is that we're doing, I want to give you guys just a little bit of a hint as to why we call this one Running the Gauntlet. So we wanted a jiu-jitsu chat show where you would be able to say things very fast, and it's our hope in the future we'll be able to bring on guests and do fun bits. But in order to run the gauntlet, you've got to be able to get through everything fast. And what better way than to put a little bit of time, a little bit of pressure, similar to the way when you get promoted, that everybody decides to take a crack and try and hit you. Which, by the way, we don't advocate, but here on the show, if you do it, I mean, smoke them if you got them. So, having said that, I want you guys to see what we have on the agenda for us here today. What is up, Kevin Ross? And I want you guys to check this out. All right, so you guys are part of this show. What I want you to do right now is tell me which of these topics you would like to see us take a stab at first. Once you tell us what the topic is, I then have 1 minute to give you my take on whatever is happening in MMA, jiu-jitsu, pop culture, you name it. So you guys are very much a part of this, and we've wanted to do this particular segment for a minute now, and we're now just barely getting the opportunity to go ahead and bring out this new technology. So it is our hope that you guys want to play along. And like I said, in the future, we'll be bringing on friends of the show to actually come play this game. You're kind of in our test, our research and development phase, our R&D, if you would. So nothing would make me happier than for you guys to go ahead and be a part of it. Now, just to give you an idea of how this will work once we are up and running in that way, you are actually going to see me call out something, and I'll say whatever the one topic is, and then you're going to see a slide to where it is that we're going. So I got a note here that said, let us go to ADCC closed. Okay, so we're going to start with that one. ADCC closed, 1 minute on the clock. Here is what happened this weekend. So I went to go coach one of my friends, and let me tell you something about ADCC. Very excited, rooting for it all the time. However, they have a little bit of a curse here in California. When my friend went to go compete, he competed, won his first round, and then after winning his first round, they told him that they were going to redo the entire bracket. But he wasn't the only person in his division to go. They told him, and 6 other people, guess what? What you did didn't count. They reset the whole thing. And then when they reset the whole thing, they basically told him that the person who lost, it didn't matter. So that dude had a triple elimination process. As a result of it, I am telling you, it was a not great situation. And to make things worse, in true form, when I went to go watch it on Flow Grappling, I did notice a big problem, which is they weren't streaming it. So I guess I have a question for ADCC, which is, are we going to be able to see it? And we'd like to. And that is going to do it for our 1 minute on the ADCC. So yes, that is why we are referring to it as ADCC closed. Okay, do you guys kind of get an idea of how this works now? So you guys tell us where you want to go, and then we're able to do that. And look at this. Look at these graphics. They're able to go ahead and black it on out so that you guys can see what that is. What's up, Sideshow Jiu-Jitsu? I appreciate you guys for tuning in today with us. All right. I guess if that is the case, let us go somewhere else. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to close my eyes, and whatever it is I pick, that's going to be our topic here. All right, next topic, Ken Enough. Okay, today we saw that Ryan Gosling was up for an Oscar. America Ferrera was up for an Oscar. Conspicuously missing in the director category was Greta Gerwig, and also won Margot Robbie in the Best Actress category, which is very, very depressing in the sense that they had the biggest box office movie of the year. Fun fact about the Oscars, they don't always give it to the biggest movies. However, this is kind of an exception. Very creative, very smart. I would say this. There are a lot of people who are unjustly kind of putting Ryan Gosling in that. Ryan Gosling just put out a statement that's amazing. But I will warn you of this. The more that you meme Ryan Gosling as being part of the issue, even if you're not making fun of him and saying more of the Academy, you may be hurting his chance to get an Oscar, which thus hurts Team Barbie. And I'll tell you this much, and I said this already. You know what? Margot Robbie was saying they don't really have a story for Barbie 2. Fuck that. Make your money. Come back on over and avatar the shit out of this movie. And they still have the opportunity to win. So, that's all I got. See? I got to get these in quick. You can tell I'm not rusty, but we got to get to that point where you bring it on back to the main focus, which is you got to get the shit in 1 minute, and it is not easy. And in particular, today our topics are vast and wide. So let me see if you guys have a place you want us to go. Hit me up. Otherwise, I'm just gonna pick at random on one of these beats. And as a reminder, in case you're just seeing this right now, check this on out. Look at this. I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to take a little break here. Look at this. We got the Grappling Hour t-shirt. If you guys want to be part of the Grappling Hour community, you can go on over to rafesparza.com/merch. Support the show. These t-shirts are $25 each. And if you get a combo, there's also hoodies. You could get a hoodie for $45, or you can get a combo of the two of them for $60. Plus shipping and handling. So it would always mean a lot to me if you guys could give us some love and some support. But in the meantime, we are now going to shift our way over to our next topic, which, my friends, is going to be Raw. Monday Night Raw. Let me tell you this real quick. They just signed a 10-year, $5 billion deal with Netflix. Why is this it? Because right now they have the ability, after 5 years, to go over and re-look at that contract, which means that they could potentially package the UFC with the WWE in 5 years, even if the sports bubble does burst. But this is a huge deal that roughly amounts to, I want to say, let's say $500 million a year. It also includes the international domestic rights for a lot of this. But that means they also get money from a deal they have separate for SmackDown, separate for NXT, and for their video library. So it just goes to tell you one thing. We can't even get $1 million for jiu-jitsu. This is how sad it is. We will literally take 1% of the WWE's deal. Now, I'm just telling you this right now. Look at it in the future. TKO is definitely going to want to get a return on their receipt. And if that's what you smell with the Rock is cooking, bam, doom. See, I can see the time on the clock, and I know I got to get quick. The only thing that sucks here is I can see the timer up this way, but I can't stare at that. I have to stare at this. So it takes a split second. I would love it. Yeah, go ahead and give us. You're on it. I appreciate that, brother. That means a lot to me. Thank you, guys. All right, where are we going next? Let's look back at the topic list. We got 3 topics left to go do while we are in the middle of this hit and run. And I would love it if you guys give me a direction as to where you would like to go. Because when we have that direction, we have that interaction, we're going to be able to do this. And like I said, it is our hope to bring on guests in real time. So I got to do this quickly because I'm looking to train in a few seconds. So it is my hope that you guys are playing along. All right, here we go. We will go to our next topic, which I have another note that says, by God, okay. Let me tell you guys this. I was commentating an event this weekend that is Star 58, a very wonderful local organization out here in Southern California. Why, by God, especially if we've already done Raw? Like, what could you have possibly seen that was by God? Well, ladies and gents, I have to tell you this. If there ever is a time to say a by God, it would be for this video. And I want you to take a look at this beautiful work here by one of the athletes at Star. It is incredible. This performance made me just kind of jump out of my seat and just be so surprised. But the effortlessness, the floating of it, it was incredible. And all credit on over to Chris Enzo, who basically surprised all of us and put his opponent out on Dream Street. Sir, my kudos to you. That's just cheers worthy, and that'll do it for that segment. Yeah, that's, if you don't look at that and think, by God, I don't know what else to say. And I do want to kind of add this. I am cheating a little bit, but I am the host and moderator, so I can do as I want. When you have those moments, and you are not, like, say, in the UFC, there's nobody speaking in your ear to tell you that they're okay. So you kind of want to give it a second to breathe to make sure that dude was back up and running. I can tell you this, I have heard reports that he is doing okay. But in that moment, man, we had to wait for an ambulance to go back and forth, and it took a while for an intermission, but in the moment we couldn't celebrate it. So I wanted to bring it on the show because I think you kind of get what I'm saying here, which is, by God. And if I was back on the call and I knew he was okay, maybe that would have been a by God, but it definitely, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I had going on there. Let's go back to the topic board, and we've got a few seconds here. What's up, Carner? We've got two. You've either got One Love or UFC Cringe, or UF Cringe, if you would. I think I'm going to go with UF Cringe. Let's go with UF Cringe. 1, 2, 3. All right, guys. Here's what I have to tell you guys. Now, here's the thing about this topic, okay? Every time you see an athlete making their way onto the UFC pressers, it is turning more and more into the fact that they think that they have a Netflix comedy special. And I don't know what it is here. Yeah, you've got people who are so intrigued about Sean Strickland that they're bum rushing the stage. Which, by the way, if you're going to bum rush anything, just to get a handshake, I think you get a sense of something going wrong in the brains of certain UFC fans. Having said that, it did 1 million views this weekend on ESPN Plus, but I do beg this one small thing, which is, I don't know why it is that every person in the UFC feels they need to be cringe. I don't think that's the only way you can sell fights. Case in point, at least with the WWE, those promos are actually done well. And it just goes to show you, maybe you don't always have to be cringe, but if you can, do it in a way that's actually done well. Bam, that's going to do it for that. Yeah, I don't know what this is, but I was able to catch part of the fights as we were doing our breakdowns and our analysis, especially during the intermission. So we were able to watch parts of it, not all of it. So that was a very interesting thing to see. I'm going to have to go back and I'll give a full analysis on that on a future show. And by the way, before we get to our last topic, while we were on the topic of the UFC, I want to go back on over and just talk very quickly about the fact that we here at the show are going to be doing a live broadcast from Milton Arguello's Mixed Martial Arts Academy this weekend for the WWE's Royal Rumble. So we're going to have some fun, and I think we might even do a little bit of a little sideshow, if you would. We might do a little bit of a raffle. So if you guys want to pay attention to that, that'll be greatly appreciated. But yes, you can do that. All right. You guys want to do this last one? I think we might be throwing you off. I thought we gave a good clue here, but we'll see what it is once we get to that last topic in 3, 2, 1. One Love. No, I know. It's not a Bob Marley song here. What I want to point out is this. I know we take shits on the business dealings of ONE FC, and rightfully so. They give out $50,000 to all of their big names, sometimes for almost doing nothing. However, this is a very good thing that I think might have flown under the radar to the point where most people may not even be aware of it. Check this out. ONE Championship to hold a grappling tournament in Qatar on February 29th. Now, I know that could be very awkward. I know that might be a leap year. I was thinking immediately if this was going to be some kind of April Fool's joke, but it appears it is not. So I have to say this. I'm very excited to see what that is. They are one of the few organizations that are actually trying to put grapplers on there, even if they are handing sometimes questionable tomatoes to one Mikey Musumeci. But I'm just saying, let's get some more grapplers out there. Good luck, you guys. All right, that's going to do it for that last topic. So look at this. Look at the ground that we were able to cover here today. We went from WWE Monday Night Raw to me talking about a great commentary gig that I got to do with my good friend John Evans over at Sparstar 58 with an incredible knockout that had us worried and delayed the show a little bit, but pretty incredible. You know, I might even show it again. We'll come back to that in just a second. Of course, we also talked about the ADCC, and I want to just kind of reemphasize this. ADCC, we are rooting for you, but I don't get how you can reset an entire division. And that wasn't just for one division. I heard it was multiple divisions that had it reset, and I get it. Hosting a tournament is very difficult and problematic. However, for a double elimination tournament, one solution is for the people who went, if the other people lost, you just feed them, reseed it, and you're good. But to redo the entire bracket, it blew people's minds and they were losing their shit. And I'm just trying to coach my buddy. And as a result of it, my buddy ended up going up against Andy Varela. Which, it's one thing if you're seated against him. initially. But, it's kind of a dick move, guys. We were prepared for it. We said, hey, it might happen, might be oh, okay, it's not going to happen. Okay, that's cool. Oh, no, second round. Second, first round. Cool story. All right, good to know. I don't know what it is, but we are rooting for you, ADCC. Just get your shit together. And at the very least, you had so many people working there. I know so many people who were on staff. But God damn it, for the love of God, logistics can be your friend. We are rooting for you, but get your shit together. And Flo, I don't know why we pay for you sometimes. What the fuck is this? How are you able to not stream something? I haven't even looked. Have you guys looked to see if you can find your friends' matches from this weekend? Because it was difficult to not be able to look at that. And I gotta admit, somewhat depressing. Granted, you've seen some highlights, and in a very different day and age, you might have even not been able to see that because, Flo with the whole don't video this is our content. Now they're loosening those things, and thank God, because at the very least, if people didn't record it, you almost wouldn't have certain highlights. So there is that. And of course, we went from talking about the UFC. We need to get this underhand. These are press conferences. Y'all aren't comedians. This is a Netflix special. To One Love. Hey, listen, One FC is actually doing something great, and they're giving more opportunities to athletes, and we are always proponents of that. And of course, we ended on Ken enough. Ken, listen, guys, I understand it. Be mad about Margot. Be mad about Greta. They still have a chance at Oscars. There was a time where Christopher Nolan wasn't even nominated for Oscars for The Dark Knight. That sucked. They still have a very good chance at winning. There is a very good possibility that they could upset it. It has happened before at the Oscars. And I'm just going to tell you guys this. Think about it like this. All they need to do, concentrate on the campaign, go to those days of getting the playbook of A Shakespeare in Love versus Saving Private Ryan. Saving Private Ryan was the shoe-in, and guess what? Shakespeare in Love still found its way because it was light comedy that gave people a little bit of a breathing room. You're kind of in that same boat with Oppenheimer here. So if you really lean into that marketing that they've been incredible at doing, I think you got a shot here. I had one friend being like, you know what, Oppenheimer should be thanking Barbie that they got in here. And I was like, Christopher Nolan movies do numbers, dude. He's like, you're right. I'm just really mad. I was like, you're right to be mad. But in my thought, yeah, Greta Gerwig should have gotten a director nod. It sucks how few women have gotten nominations in the Academy for directing. So not lost on that. And Margot Robbie, we've seen lesser people get nominations for also hosting and basically doing the exact same thing on the dude side. Case in point, I think Johnny Depp getting one for Pirates of the Caribbean was merited. Same thing for her. One of those epic all-time performances. Robert Downey Jr. also should have gotten one for Iron Man. I'll say that. I'm good with that. All right, that is going to do it for our topics here on Running the Gauntlet. I hope that you guys get excited about this. I hope that if you've got people that you think would like to do this segment, you pitch them my way because we want to bring people on. We want to get people more to this format. We want to get people to actually learn how to do a take within a minute. And as you saw here today, even though I'm a little rusty, it can happen. And more importantly, I want to be able to create a show that may one day very well appear on a cable sports show because you can look at it like this. As much as I love the WWE, and I do, it's great. We here in grappling have athletes that are due for that kind of recognition. And guess what? If they're getting $5 billion, you mean to tell me you couldn't lose 3 of that for grappling and it wouldn't change our lives here? So in my head, I'm trying to slowly get us to that finish line and get us ready to do that kind of presentation. I'm not saying we will be the WWE. I mean, it's probably not going to happen like that. But that doesn't mean that we shouldn't be trying to get people to respect us and watch our shows in the same way. So this is our little contribution for the world of grappling and MMA. And it's my hope that you guys will be tuning into the future. I think we may do more of these over on the actual Grappling Hour side. But in the meantime, thank you so much for tuning in. And I think we'll try to do these weekly. And you guys are more than welcome to pitch these topics at me as we start to do them. And in the comment section, feel free to give us some feedback. Let us know what you like about this. Let us know what we can improve. We're definitely going to be playing around with the format in terms of, you know, how this all looks and whatnot. So there's going to be a lot of trial and error and a lot more things that we are trying to fix up as we start to get the hang of this thing. And it is something that, like I said, we're looking to do weekly. Before we get on out of here, a couple quick reminders. You can follow us on over at Grappling Hour on YouTube. You can catch us at HY.PAGE /Grappling Hour in case you want to become a member and see our interviews 30 days before anybody else. And we've got some good ones. We're just starting to ramp that back up. We've got an excellent one with Jillian Knoll, and I'm very excited that she just won a recent Medusa Jiu-Jitsu competition. That interview's awesome. And very soon, Bobby Winther's episode should be going up and free to all. So keep an eye out for those things. And then if you guys want to get the gear, you can go on over to rapasparza.com /merch. And once you do that, you guys can get you some Grappling Hour gear. We got t-shirts in multiple colors, not just this black color. We've got it in gray, military green, white, and sand. And sand has been a very big favorite here. But get it now before I start running out of supplies. And if you want to get a combination, the hoodies and the t-shirts, we give you a little bit of a discount on there. Also, join our Discord at Grappling Hour and much more. That's going to do it for us, you guys. It's been a great day for grappling. We'll see you back on the mats.